I'm joined by Karti Chidambaram, Congress MP from Sivaganga. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. And let me begin this conversation by asking you, since elections are around the corner in Tamil Nadu, is DMK and Congress are in happy space?
See, we are in the India Alliance. We lead the India Alliance nationally, and the DMK is part of the India Alliance. In Tamil Nadu, the DMK leads the India Alliance, and we are part of that alliance as well in Tamil Nadu. We've been with DMK since 2004. This was an alliance which was forged by Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and the late Kalaignar Karunanidhi. Except for 2014, we've fought every election together, Assembly and Parliament. And we've had significant success in most elections, barring one or two. And in the election we did not contest together, both of us did badly. So we know our collective strength, and we also know that when we are not together, what happens. Obviously, there are expectations in any political formation, and since we have not been in power since 1967, naturally people in the party have expectations. When those expectations are expressed freely, there is bound to be a little bit of, as you say, friction. But these are all things which can be overcome through negotiations and dialogue. And I believe that negotiations and dialogue will make us come to an agreement, as we have come to an agreement in the previous elections as well.
Karti, if the understanding is so deep and if the respect is mutual, then why isn't there any space for Congress in Tamil Nadu where it can share power as part of the executive?
See, there has to be a certain sequence which has to be followed before one can talk about, say, power sharing. I believe the first point is to reiterate and reconfirm the alliance publicly and in a very, very transparent and in a visible manner. Second is to have negotiations on the number of seats each party is going to contest. Newer entrants have come into the alliance. So it's very important to fix the number of seats, then to identify the seats, then put up credible candidates, run a robust campaign, face the elections, and post elections we can discuss certain things. Naturally, there is expectations from the Congress side, but then the DMK is also articulating their position of what has always happened in Tamil Nadu. That being said, these are certain things can be discussed post election. Everything need not be settled before the election, because we need to see how the electoral results are. Sometimes the electoral results will necessitate a certain arrangement. Sometimes an electoral result might necessitate only an accommodation of say, large-heartedness or of keeping the alliance together. So we do not know what that situation will be until the elections are over. So why get into that point of contention before the election is my position.
So what is the delay about? Is it only about the seats, number, Rajya Sabha?
No, the negotiations have started. They have formed a committee, we have formed a committee. We formed a committee much earlier. They have formed now a committee. They are talking to the various constituents of the alliance. And they have had one round of informal discussion with us, with the General Secretary organization. But the committees have not met each other, but they would normally meet these committees one after another, and the Congress's turn will come once they settle all these smaller political formations.
What is your take on DMDK?
See, the DMDK, in my personal opinion, is not the force it was when Vijay was around. This now is being run by his family. And I always believe that there is no real space for two inspired political organizations in any given point of time. That being said, they do have their limited scope of influence in certain constituencies. But the Chief Minister has done the right thing by roping in as many political parties as possible, because I believe when a government is facing re-election, it is important to put together a large formation. When you are going against the government, you don't require such a large formation because the sentiment itself will bring you. But when you are coming in for re-election, there is normally a natural anti-incumbency. In order to overcome that, to put together a large formation is the adroit and politically right thing. And I think Mr. Stalin has done the right thing by making an umbrella alliance.
Every 5, 6 years or 7 years, there is always a third player. Vijay is the third player again. How do you assess his strength?
See, many experiments, as you have rightly said, with the third players have happened in Tamil Nadu and not very successfully. To have a successful political result sans the DMK and the ADMK has not really happened in Tamil Nadu at all. Many have tried this. Vaiko at one point was there. At one point, Vijay tried it. They have all not met success. But I believe that Vijay will get significant number of votes because he is a popular movie star. He has a support base. That support base or a fan base will become a vote share. The vote share, whether it will convert to seats, I have a question mark on it. Because in a first past the post system, particularly in a three-way contest, unless you get a certain percentage of votes, it won't convert to seats. That I can't see seat conversion. And the journey from popular movie star with a fan base to vote share to winning seats is a long journey. And it doesn't just necessarily automatically fall into place unless you have certain other things in place. See, where he doesn't have a command and control system as yet in his organization. His organization by and large still functions like a large fan club. It's not yet become a full-fledged political party in the classical sense. They don't have a command and control structure. Further, they don't have candidates who are reasonably credible on a constituency basis. Yes, Vijay has got name recognition, he's got popularity, but does he have the foot soldiers in each constituency who can run an effective campaign and also through their own personal brand equity bring in some votes into the kitty. That's very important in an assembly election. The MLA candidate must either through social contact or through standing in the local area brings in a certain amount of votes to the table. I'm not sure he's got the candidates for all 234 constituencies where he can do that. So there are many points in which he might not be able to fully fructify his support fan base into votes and into seats.
If Vijay is ticking, then on whose expense the vote is going to come? Is it going to be
he's going to secularly harm everybody. That's my understanding. Because you see, he's obviously when he's coming in as a third player, he's going to get this natural I'm not satisfied with politics voter, the young voter. Particularly he's got a fan base which is young, and there is a certain socio-economic background for his fans. Those fans who are not aligned to any political party, who have a distaste for politics as usual, who are slightly younger than the average member of other political parties, will vote for him. And he will secularly hurt both the formations.
So are you saying he needs to be taken seriously?
No, he must be taken seriously for sure. For sure he must be taken seriously for this election because he is going to get a vote share, and my assessment is that he will get a vote share much greater than what most people are giving him. But whether it will convert to seats, I still have a question mark, but he will poll a significant number of votes. But then post-elections, if he does not have seat conversion, does he have the stamina and the wherewithal to run a political party up to the next parliament election and then again up to the next assembly election? That I don't know. Because he is not behaving like a classical politician. He doesn't come out, he doesn't give interviews, he doesn't interact with people. So running a political party post an election where you have not done well, this can't be the kind of style and tenor in which you do it. So, but I'm not here to really advise him, and neither do I know him. So I don't know. And he doesn't have any, see, there is no strong reason why he's coming to politics. I've always said this, that when most people come to politics with a very strong reason. I still do not know what is his strong reason to come to politics. He's not articulated that as yet.
Okay. Are we discounting BJP?
No, I'm not discounting the ADMK formation. I'm not discounting the ADMK formation at all. Even though they have lost out a little bit on the narrative, because obviously the government gets a disproportionate share of attention, and then the newcomer, because he's a movie star, is also getting a large share of the attention, and the ADMK is sort of being pushed below the radar. But the ADMK is a large political party with a strong rural mooring, and they have also put together a large alliance. Their alliance also can't be discounted. But in a three-way contest, if the opposition vote is going to get split, and if the government has put together a very large formation, and with the machinery they have, the organization they have, they will pick past the post, is my understanding. But I would not discount anybody in this election. This is not a simple black and white election. This election would be very different from any other elections we have faced in Tamil Nadu before.
Why do you say that?
Because you see, the third front previously never had this kind of a popular support. The visible, unorganized, perhaps uncontrolled, unstructured popular support I have not seen for a third front before. The enthusiasm. That enthusiasm, whether it can take form, shape and become something meaningful, I don't know, but it will definitely poll significantly. And then the second formation also is large. They have also pulled in this TTV faction which was away. They have put together a large alliance as well, and they have some committed vote bank. Each of the constituents of the ADMK alliance, if you want to call it the NDA or whatever, have got committed vote banks as well, and they will in any very disciplined manner make sure that their votes are transferred. But the BJP itself is not the most desired party in Tamil Nadu. And sometimes because they are there in an alliance.
Is BJP adding value to AIDMK?
I am not too sure in an assembly election. They would have added value in a parliament election, and that time they were not together. And I think it was the biggest tactical mistake of the BJP at that time, being led by Annamalai. You know, that is the election they needed the ADMK together, because the ADMK also would have benefited from the BJP there, because they could have clearly said who their prime minister candidate would be. So the ADMK went into an election without having a prime ministerial candidate, and the people completely rejected them. And the BJP went alone, giving up a trusted ally who would have brought in a certain amount of votes. So that is an election where the BJP perhaps would have not necessarily would have brought in a little bit more focus. But in a state election, I always said national leaders play no role. I mean, there is no role for Mr. Modi in Tamil Nadu's election. Nobody is voting because they want Modi for a formation. And the BJP, because it's there, there is always this fear of people because of their thrust of this Hindutva politics. Some natural votes which have gone to the ADMK will not go to the ADMK because the BJP is there. So in this election, I'm not too sure that whether they are significantly value add, but they also have also consolidated their vote in particularly among certain socio-economic brackets, particularly in the upper echelons of the socio-economic bracket, and in certain urban areas, but it won't be very significant.
Karti, tell me, Tamil Nadu is a religious society. It's not as
the most religious society.
The most religious society. Political parties, the form they practice is something very, very different, radically different from rest of India. Why doesn't BJP click at a local level when there is a commonality of faith being a very important part of politics?
See, 2 points. First is that we have the largest number of temples per square kilometer in India, or in the world perhaps. We break more coconuts every single day. Most Tamilians won't step out of the house without going to their puja room without putting a vibhuti or a kumkum on their forehead, including me. But the BJP's thrust of, or the construct of Hinduism or Hindutva, as you might call it, is very North Indian, very upper caste, very Sanskritized and vegetarian. That is not how the faith is practiced in Tamil Nadu.
Can I just interject? If you look at these seats which BJP has won in national elections and even assembly, they sweep all the ST-SC constituencies.
But that is in the north of India, but not in Tamil Nadu. See, in
Tamil Maharashtra.
Nadu, see, as I said, in maybe their narrative, their communication, all works in North India. In Tamil Nadu, first and foremost, everybody thinks that somehow at least a lot of Delhi media also
perception.
Perception is that Dravidian parties are against Hinduism. That's wrong. The Dravidian parties were not formed, did not take shape to fight Hinduism. They fought the overwhelming domination of a particular community and to fight caste hierarchy. They were never anti-Hindu. In fact, in this government of Stalin has done more temple Kumbhabhishekams than any other government. There is no fetter to the practice of the faith in Tamil Nadu. There is no threat to the faith.
But then why does Udayanidhi Stalin?
No, that isn't. See, that again
speaks in a language which is so
he's only
offensive to so many believers.
Again, that
even courts have taken cognizance of that.
Again, a misrepresentation of what was said. I mean, I'm not his spokesperson, but please understand, this term Sanatanam is not a Tamil term. It is a Sanskrit term. It's not a Tamil word. In popular parlance in Tamil Nadu, whenever people speak on stage or whenever they have a discourse, when they use the word Sanatanam, it means caste hierarchy. That is the popular usage of the word in Tamil Nadu. It will have a different construct in north of India. I accept that. But here when I go to my puja room, my grandmother didn't take me to my puja room saying, come, let's practice Sanatanam. Come for Sanatanam, come to my, to come and do this ritual. We are Hindus. Most of us are Shaivites. There are Vaishnavites are a smaller part. We are by and large a Shaivite state. And that nobody uses this term to describe the practice of our faith. Nobody uses this term to describe any of our rituals or of our practices. I mean, so this is a term which is only used in popular parlance when it denotes caste hierarchy. And the Dravidian parties have traditionally been against the caste hierarchy. I mean, you can argue whether they are actually practicing or not, but against the hegemony of a particular caste. That is the genesis of those political parties. And that conference was only to break that down. So it is not to fetter anybody or to destroy the faith or to raise every temple, stop people from practicing the faith. It is impossible. Tamil Nadu is the most Hindu of all states. I mean, you see the number of people going on padayatras to temples will be greater in Tamil Nadu than anywhere else. Just now we finished Thaipusam, which is a revered day for Muruga, which you and I have been named after. And lakhs of people go to Thaipusam. It goes off without incident. No Hindu festival, no Hindu practice, no Hindu ritual is ever stopped, curbed in Tamil Nadu.
How important is this election for the Congress party, keeping in mind that maximum number of MPs are coming from a couple of states?
No, every election is important. If the state election is not important, how does a party thrive? And particularly in a state of Tamil Nadu, we have not been in government since 1967. It's going to be 60 years. It is practically 2 cycles of human life in terms of political activity. If we are not going to be in government, it is a serious problem. And you see, in Tamil Nadu, we are depending on which district you are from. If you are from Kanyakumari, we could be the principal political party. If you are from Sivaganga, we would be the 3rd political party. In most other districts other than these 2, we would be anything from the 4th to the 7th party. So we are getting pushed down the totem pole as more and more parties come. See, again, because of regional parties offer leadership at the doorstep, whereas national parties offer leadership in the mountain. And younger people gravitate, or people generally, particularly in these states where there are very strong regional parties, naturally gravitate towards leadership at the doorstep.
Before I close in this interview, your thoughts on what happened at Delhi, Bharat Mandapam, the AI protest?
See, protests have happened, in every international event or national event which has got good publicity, because that's the best platform to go and protest. What do you protest for? You want your protest so that people notice what you're protesting for. Whether it was appropriate, inappropriate is a different issue. Whether it could have been tempered or not, yes, we can debate about it. But the response has been disproportionate. You can't have them all locked up in very draconian laws and not give them bail. These kind of protests have happened. Haven't you had people run into cricket fields? Haven't you had people, take off their shirts? In Wimbledon, I've seen a person has gone in, as a streaker has gone into this was not even streaking, this was only bare-chested. A streaker has gone into the Wimbledon Centre Court. People protest only in platforms. And this was not really a summit. This was more of a meet and greet event. I mean, a summit must eventually have a declaration. I mean, all the participants should come to some consensus and have a declaration. There was no declaration in this summit. So this was not really a summit. This was a good meet and greet. I welcome it. And the AI is an evolving field. We must have more of these events, and thought leaders from the industry must come in. But a protest happened, and you can book them under in some nuisance law and be done with it. But you can't be telling them that they're evoking national security laws against 4 bare-bodied protesters at an event.
Okay. And my last question to you is, how long do you think that this seat arrangement conversation is going to
It
last?
has to. See, the good thing about these negotiations is they have to finitely end on a date when the nominations start. So this can't be going on forever. So everybody knows that there is a time pressure. Once the notification is there, nominations start, we can't be having endless negotiation. So I'm glad that there is going to be a finite point. At finite point, we have to come to some sort of conclusion which everybody needs to be satisfied with.
Thank you so much for making time for it.
Great pleasure.